Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and I'm sorry that I had to show that video again to set the context for this audience. I didn't want to make you live through that again, but you've gone from being pushed around by those guys to beating Donald Trump in court. How does that feel tonight?
All right, Lawrence. Well, thanks for having me. Great to be back with you. And look, it's yet another victory for the Constitution, another victory for the true rule of law, not the rule of law that Donald Trump likes to talk about when he's breaking the law on a daily basis. And frankly, it's vindication because we've known this all along. There's so much that was wrong about the operation in Los Angeles. We knew it was without proper justification or merit. It's taken the legal process to underscore that and confirm that with Judge Breyer's ruling yesterday. But we also know that the whole operation is not what Donald Trump continues to say that it is. Whether it's Los Angeles, whether it's Chicago, whether it's Portland, whether it's North Carolina, elsewhere across the country, for all their talk about the dangerous, violent criminals, the fact of the matter is the vast majority of people that they detain, that they arrest, that they've deported, do not have violent criminal convictions. There's so much wrong with all of this, but I just have to emphasize this. I'm going to paraphrase Judge Breyer when he says that Donald Trump is not interested in checks and balances. He's just interested in a blank check, both financially, do whatever he wants with federal resources, but also when it comes to powers. This president does not have unlimited, unchecked powers. We're going to continue to rein him back in.
Yeah, that blank check line was in the first line of the judge's ruling. The judge also said this: defendant's argument, defendant being Donald Trump, defendant's argument for a president to hold unchecked power to control state troops would wholly upend the federalism that is at the heart of our system of government. And to see it in simple print like that, Senator, after we've known this our entire lives and had to live through months of people in this country asking, is this okay? To see it finally spelled out so clearly there by the judge must be a real relief to you and to Californians.
It is, and I hope it continues to open up the eyes of my colleagues in Congress, both sides of the aisle, and people across the country. Because we tried to sound the alarm back in June, but what was happening in Los Angeles was wrong. The federalization and the deployment of state National Guard troops into a state against the governor's wishes, into a city over the objections of not just the local mayor, local elected leadership, but the local sheriff, the local police department is practically unprecedented. We knew it would be ineffective. In fact, it was counterproductive. But it's Donald Trump's MO to try to fan the flames, try to escalate tensions, and justify further escalation on his part. I came back to Washington after that press conference and warned my colleagues that they can do this in Los Angeles, they can do it anywhere in the country on any issue they choose to try to quench dissent. And sadly, we've seen what's happened in and around Washington, D.C., in and around Chicago, in and around Portland, in and around Memphis. They're in New Orleans now. They continue this campaign of terror under the guise of public safety and immigration enforcement. We know it's anything but. And, case by case, legal victory by legal victory, we're going to rein this back in.
Senator Alex Padilla, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Lawrence.